All right. Hello, 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 hello. How's it going? We are back at it again with the Phoenix Wright. We are a little bit behind, but that's okay. That's what happens when I walked away real quick to grab a swig of water. All right. Probably need to go put another one in there, but that's okay. I'll take once I get to a particular point, I'll go grab some more water. I should have did that, but I got distracted. All right. So hello, we are doing Phoenix Wright. We are on the what is it, part 2? Part 2-1 trial. Okay. Hey Digi, how's it going? Gotta have a water bottle beside you. Yes, I do. Actually, what would probably make this a little bit better if I get a cough drop. I'm almost done. I feel this honestly, I haven't been sick. I've just well, I'm not sick anymore. I just got this lingering cough. I just got this lingering cough, and there's nothing I can do about it. I just keep coughing for no reason. So let me go grab a cough drop. Actually, hold on a second. I think it would be a good idea to kind of knock out this water thing real quick. Therefore, I don't have to like worry about oh shoot. So I don't have to worry about having some cold water for a little bit later. So let me go throw some water into the fridge real fast, cuz I didn't do that, and then I will be right back. Be right back, music. Be right back. There's always some scuff in the stream. I was here, I was ready to go, and I was like, oh wait, I need some water. Oh wait, I think I might I might need these cough drops. Oh wait. All right. So, whew, we are here. We are here. I'm ready to rock and roll. I'm just trying to put a cough drop in my goddamn mouth because I keep coughing for some unknown reason. Okay. We chilling. We are chilling. All right. So, with that said, hello everybody. Welcome to the stream. We are doing Phoenix Wright. We are catching up where we were last time. So I think the last time we did a little bit of investigating, tried to find out some things. Phoenix broke more than an ankle. He fell off a bridge, and he's currently in not critical condition, but just enough where he is in the hospital. Maya is stranded on Gullah Gullah Island. Pearl is nowhere to be seen. Bikini, the nun Bikini, is claiming that Iris, who is a serial killer, at least in my book, is was supposed to be watching Maya, killed an author for a children's book, And then we have Larry, who was just vibing and I guess low-key stalking Iris, claiming that they had a hot and sour, bittersweet love affair going on. So with all those critical information, we found out absolutely nothing. Aside the fact that oh yeah, and then we have Gumshoe and Gumshoe's Gumshoe. Hopefully the cough goes away soon. Not fun having a lingering cough. As for me, my day is a mess. Woke up a bit early, messed up my ballot, forgot my headphones, borrowing a wired pair. Pasta was a bit overcooked. Coffee was lukewarm. Oh, like you look like you was running going through it. Going through it. My day was actually all right for once. Um, Work wasn't bad. Um, Customer service jobs just kind of suck. That's all. The people wasn't too bad today. Usually there's one person that just thinks that the world just belongs to them, but we didn't really have too much of that today. At least on my end, we didn't. So we vibing today. I think it was a bad idea to put this candy in my goddamn mouth. All right, February 9th, 9:47 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 1. And the Deviant Art stash isn't working properly. Oh my. Mr. Lawrence feels that way about me? Apparently so. Girl, you need to run. You might be a serial killer, but you need to run. Apparently, he isn't aware of your real secret at all. This is no time to be embarrassed. I'm sorry. I'm just hardly accustomed to that sort of thing. Not gonna lie, Iris is pretty. She is. But look, this is what I learned. This is what I learned. Beauty is not everything, right? Beauty is not everything. Sometimes it's just about the personality. Look at Master Mass. He had a good personality. His looks were kind of questionable, but look who he dragged in. But she's the exact opposite. She's beautiful, but she's a serial killer. And she knows how to play her cards right. So if she keeps bumping into men like Phoenix and Larry, Edgeworth don't seem to be affected, thank God. But if she bumps into people like Phoenix and Larry and the judge and that other weird judge, she's gonna keep killing people. Worry not. And in any case, was whatever it was that he saw the night of the incident, mark my words, I will drag it out of him. Does that mean Mr. Lawrence is a witness today? No. I believe that none will be the first to take the stand. Sister Bikini. She claims to have seen the very instant in which you carried out the crime. I just want to ask you one last time. Is it really wasn't you who killed Elise Donham? Correct? That is correct. It wasn't me. Very well then. Mr. Edgeworth? Yes? You are a prosecutor, aren't you? Are you sure about this? If your true identity is revealed. Don't worry. I made the necessary arrangements. I I see. Iris. It is a prosecutor's job to doubt people. But right now, I am a defense attorney. A defense attorney's job is to believe in people and to believe until the bitter end. That's what my friend told me once. Miss Edgeworth, I simply ask that you watch and decide for yourself whether or not I'm fit to do the task I've been entrusted. Very well, sir. I leave my defense in your capable hands. True, true. And I won't take Ron Delight slander. Ron is a delight in more than one way. Okay. I'm pretty sure he is. She gotta be with him for some reason. It seemed like he was a nice guy, though. He was a nice guy. Um, I don't know. That was a fun case, though, I will say. February 9th, 10 a.m., District Court, Courtroom number 7. Oh god, I gotta do this voice for this guy again? God dang it, man. Oh man. Oh, let me get this piece of candy out my mouth. That's crazy. I was hoping there's gonna be another judge I've never seen before, but nah, it's this guy. Crap. Alright, that should hold me up for a little bit. Alright. How did I do this guy's voice again? Court is now in session for the trial of the... No, I didn't say that like that. No, no. How did I do it? Court. Court is in session for trial of the Sister Iris at the Hakazura Temple. It was. I would say something like that, right? Yeah. I'll figure it out. God dang it. Hold on, can I, do you mind do anybody mind if I pull up a clip real quick to see how the heck I did this dude's voice? What the fudge? I think he was kind of whiny, right? I kind of made it a little whiny for this judge, and he just did this little weird sound effect at the end. Alright, we're just gonna have to wing it. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The defense does indeed appear to be ready. However, the same cannot be said for the prosecution in this case. Indeed. I'm not sure I like such a blatant waste of this courtroom's time. An empty prosecutor's chair can only mean that the prosecutor has no confidence in their ability to prove their case. It would seem that this case is already over before it had a chance to begin. He's supposed to be Canadian, the judge? I don't know what Canadians sound like. So we're just gonna go with this voice for now. I am ready to announce my verdict at this time. This court finds the defendant. Ah? The prosecution stands ready. And you are? Franziska von Karma, prosecuting prodigy. Von Karma, you say? Perchance, you wouldn't be of any relation to the legendary prosecutor Manfred von Karma. Legends are a thing of the past. I'm a von Karma. That is all. Upon a special request, I flew in today for the purpose of prosecuting this case. You did? Then you must be quite the big shot, eh? Yeah. By the way, Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honor. I'm almost certain that I've seen you somewhere before, or am I just imagining things? You look very much like a prosecutor I met once. I believe you are imagining things, Your Honor. Miss Von Karma, do you have anything to say? There is no such weakling as this man among those of the prosecutor's office. There, there isn't. But I'm sure. Ah! I told you, there is no such weakling. What is that? A whip? I'm not sure I care for such a thing in my courtroom. Bailiff, remove that whip. I have no objection to the whip. You don't? The prosecution can wield a whip or drink 17 cups of coffee. But there is still only one truth. That is what I stand here to prove today. This promises to be interesting, Miles Edgeworth. I had expected to face Phoenix Wright here today. But looking at you now, maybe this is what I have been waiting for all this time. Miles Edgeworth, I will not allow this chance to crush you slip through my fingers. Ha! I see you brought your flair to the histrionic? Is that right? Histrionic? No, I see you brought your flair for the histrionic. Okay, alright, histrionic. Backhanded compliment? I don't know. Allow me to add the things I'm not sure about. People acting bizarrely in my court. The stage is set. Now continue with your proceedings, Your Honor. Very well. Miss Von Karma, please give an outline of this case. With as little whippings as possible. The murder victim is the famed picture book author, Miss Elise Donham. Her body was found in Hazakura Temple courtyard. She had been stabbed thoroughly. Oh, I'm sorry, not thoroughly. She has been stabbed through the torso by a ceremonial sword from a golden statue. The sword in this picture is the weapon in question, correct? Nah. Very well. The court accepts this photo of the crime scene. Crime photo added. There's no mistake. This was the doing of Sister Iris. After all, there is a witness to our crime. Very well. Please bring this witness to the stand. So it begins. My first and last trial as a defense attorney. Witness, state your name and occupation, please. Hold on there. I'm not sure about being not sure if I care about this at all. Witness, please stand up nice and straight. What the? If I recall correctly, there are a few milk crates in the defense lobby for our back pain plague witness. Bailiff, fetch a crate for this poor lady, please. No. Once again, your name and occupation, please. Little old me. Well, I'm the head nun of Hazakura Temple on Eagle Mountain. My name is Bikini. You got it? Bikini. Nice to meet everyone. But you don't appear to be wearing a bikini right now. Wow! The courtroom is the garden of a holy judgment. Those with lechery in their hearts should leave the sanctuary at once. You want me to leave? No need to get your bikinis in a twist. Let me tell you, I'm a sight to behold in summer. Girl? In any case, witness, I heard that you saw the crime take place on the night in question. That's right. I still can hardly believe myself, to be honest. There's no way dear little Iris could do a thing like that. Let us hear what you have to say then. First, tell us about. First, tell us about your own movements that night, eh? Yeah. Wait. First, tell us a boot. You said he's Canadian, right? A boot? Tell us a boot? They don't spell a boot like that. Isn't it about? They just say a boot. So I gotta say a boot. First, tell us a boot. Your own. Wait, that didn't sound right at all. First, tell us about your own movements that night. Ah, that's still so weird. Did they really spell a boot? Okay, we're moving on. Next slide. The night of the murder. Yeah. That night, I was helping an acolyte with her training in the inner temple, but, well, as you can see, my back likes to act up violently. So, I left Iris to help the acolyte and returned to Hakazara Temple. There's no bath at the inner temple, you see. I needed a long hot soak. It was after I had finished, just as I was heading back, that's when I saw it. Mm. So it was simply coincidence that you found yourself returning to Hazukara Kent Temple. Yes, you could say that. If my back hadn't been in so much pain, I would have stayed at the inner temple. That sounds like a pretty important statement she just made. There's only one problem with this testimony that I can see. And you're not about to fall at the first hurdle now, are you, Mouse Edgeworth? Mr. Edgeworth, please begin your cross-examination. Yeah. The night of the murder. Yes, it's more of a spelling based on punctuation. Oh, punctuation. It's about, but it's pronounced how you did when you were Canadian. Ah, that makes a lot of sense. All right. That night, when I was helping, what is this inner temple? Well, see, conversing with the spirits is what we train people to do, right? Well, we'll be the ones asking you the questions, madam. Nah. In order to do that, a place strong in spiritual power is required. There's a small temple across Dusky Bridge called Inner Temple. Acolytes must spend their entire night there to undergo intense training. And how exactly do you help with this process? It's It is all quite exacting. It can't be performed without a nun supervising. Like a tutor watching to make sure a spoiled child studies. A tutor with a whip in your case. If that is the case, then why did you return to Hakazukura Temple when the murder took place? Well, as you can see, my back likes to act up violently. Violently? Huh? Oh, my bad. That's right. It's no laughing matter, especially in the winter. I can't hold anything heavier than a knife and a fork during the cold months. Just being alive is like strict training. On the night of the murder, was this fabulous back of yours hurting again? That's right, raging like a bull in a pig pen. I almost fainted once or twice. I just knew that unless I warmed it up, it was going to finally finish me off. So I left Iris to help the acolyte and returned to the temple. You left Iris to help? With what? Ah! Why does it keep happening? What do you think? The acolyte's training, of course. It was just past 10 p.m., so we were just starting to enter into the training exercise proper. Wasn't it your place to remain with the discipline? Well, the job says simply to watch over the acolytes so they don't pass away. Just to confirm this point again, that night, You met Iris in the inner temple, correct? Yes, yes. She is a gentle, honest girl. She never once failed to follow my directions. Mm. There's no bath in the inner temple, you see, so I need a long hot soak. So you turn to the Hakazura temple in order to take a bath? My back is to blame for everything. It's do or be done in kind of world after all. How long were you in the bath for, if you don't mind me asking? My. What a filthy little rogue you are. I know what's on your mind. Wait, what? Girl, get over yourself. We are asking real legit questions. How long were you taking a bath for? Nobody's trying to pitch you with your clothes off. Trust. I bet your next question is going to be, where exactly did you wash? Girl, did I just say that we have no indication that we are interested in your body? Not at all. Where exactly did you wash? That's a strange thing to bring up. Why would anybody want to know where you washed? Okay. Ah, this is why you have to watch the young ones. What? I am Miss Bikini. There is nothing young to be watching about. You are throwing words out into the universe that nobody even thought about saying. Come on now. What are you going on? Ah! Pathetic, Miles Edgeworth. The lowest of the low. Ah. Is there some sort of kick me sign stuck to this defense bench? Anyway, I couldn't afford to be away from my post for too long, you understand, so. It was after I had finished, I was just heading back, and that's when I saw it. Saw what? The crime took place in the courtyard, correct? When you go from my room to the main hall, you have to take the winding hallway from which you can see the courtyard. That's right. In other words, it was pure coincidence that the witness saw the crime taking place before her eyes. There was no complicate, complicated setup in this case. Hmm, that certainly seems to be true. There is indeed only one problem with this testimony. If I can clearly point out what it is, then I can begin to quantify just how good this witness's memory and observation skills are. That night, I was helping an acolyte with her training. Okay. Well, as you can see, my back likes to act up violently. I left Iris to help the acolyte and returned. Hmm. That's useless information. Mm, you met Iris at the Inner Temple, correct? Yes, yes, she's a gentle, honest girl. Uh-huh, okay, right here. Dang, she fell 10 feet? That's crazy. 10 feet from where? Okay. Well, she's lying. Oh, can I present her testimony? Got you. Witnesses have to undergo their own trials, I'm afraid. The defendant's fate rests on their powers of observation and memory, after all. Well, 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 don't worry. I'm more than up to the task. I'm a woman of faith, after all. The head honcho of the Hazakura Temple. In that case, Miss Honcho, I'd like you to explain something for me. The discrepancy between your testimony and that of the defendant Iris. She claims that after ringing the lights out bell, she went back and stayed in her room. Which means she did not go to the inner temple at all. No! She said that? A defendant or a witness? Who is more likely to lie, do you suppose? The defendant is simply lying to cover her back. But that is completely illogical. The murder was committed in the courtyard of Hakazura Temple. Claiming that she went to the inner temple would have made a much better alibi. Oh, but that is odd. Whatever the reason, I can't believe she would lie. Hmm, she does indeed have honest eyes. Ah, all people lie. That is my belief. Why am I the only one being whipped in here? Anyway, neither the witness nor the defendant have any reason to lie. Nah, which means we must call your memory into question. Dear, 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 you're older than me, and yet you want to play that game, do you? Well, that isn't exactly what I. My memory is perfect, crystal clear, especially in the winter. And I suppose it's too early to end this cross-examination. Yeah. Mr. Edgeworth, if you are going to question the memory of this witness, you will need to show me more decisive piece of evidence. Understood, Your Honor. I was naive to think alone. Oh, I'm sorry. I was naive to think that alone would do the trick. And please add your comments about Iris to the testimony. And let us return to the cross-examination. Okay. Iris came to the inner temple. She was dressed exactly as she'd been at dinner. The heck does that mean? Are you sure that you're not making a mistake? You, young man, need to get your estimation of me up from the floor. Mm. Iris always wears the same clothes. The smallest thing out of the place would have stood out to me like a oh, I'm sorry. I did not read this word for word. The smallest thing out of place would have stood out like a sore thumb to me. You're making a mistake. Thinking I made a mistake. An excellent finish there, witness. Still, I have to wonder. Hmm. How was she dressed at dinner? Like, what does that mean? I'm gonna take a ballpark guess on this. Witness, let's get one thing straight. The defendant whom you claim to have met, she was wearing this demon warding hood, correct? Of course! That is a very important piece of clothing, I'll have you know. Wait a minute. Hold it right there. Why do you have that? That's the question of the day now, isn't it, Miss Von Karma? I'll have you know that this hood was given to someone as a gift that night. Or the lights out bell was rung. What? You know where I'm going with this, don't you? If the witness had seen the defendant as she claims, then the Irish she saw should have been missing this very hood. Well, it's not a bad feeling at all, exposing contradictions like this. Now I understand that happy look on Wright's face every time he does it. Order! Oh! Sister, this hood. You have a spare ones around the temple, don't you? Spares? Well, I do tend to make too many of them. I see. A stockpile. A surplus of hoods, eh? Each nun is only given one hood. This should be the only hood that Iris owned. Hmm. Then this is quite strange, huh? Wah! If there was a surplus of hoods, then she could have worn one of those. There's no contradiction here. Hmm. Sorry to break this to you, Miss Von Karma, but you won't get away that easy. Discrepancies such as this will sow seeds in any human heart. The seeds of doubt. Witness. Well, I don't wish to call your testimony into doubt. You must give every detail with precision. I'm not sure I'm comfortable going along with this. Sister, you shall continue your testimony. Tell us what you saw after finishing your bath on your way back to the inner temple. Those seeds of doubts are sprouting in the judge's heart. They just need a little more stimulation to bear fruit. Contradictory simulation. After my bath. I think Edgeworth is having a good time being defense. I feel like I feel like he's having a little fun. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he's having a little fun. Ooh, okay, sorry about that. Finished my bath around 11 and I thought I should return to the inner temple. As I was walking back, I heard a noise from the courtyard and I took a look and Iris was, oh, Mystic Elise, that with that sword of all things. Mystic Elise was staying in the corner room, which faces out into the courtyard. The stabbing I saw must have occurred after she was pushed out of her window. That's crazy. She was pushed out the window. Saw a truly terrible sight, didn't you? Ah. If I was in your place, then it would be much like Miss Von Karma whipping Mr. Edgeworth in two in court. I'm sorry, why did you randomly throw my name out there, Judge? Why did you randomly throw my name out there? I think she only whipped him once. And me, seeing it all from this very chair. Yeah. Well, something like that. This judge. His imagination is about as vivid and creative as Detective Gumshoe. I would look like the fool if I had commented on such foolishness. Anyway, this case is mine. Miles Edgeworth. Calling everyone by their full name. Can't you do something about that habit of yours? After my bath. I finished my bath around 11. How far is it from your room to the inner temple? Let me think for a moment. About 20 minutes on these stumps of mine. It's about 15 minutes to Dusky Bridge from Hazuka Temple. The inner temple is just beyond the bridge. Still, you never made it back there that night, did you? That's right. I was heading along the walkway toward the main hall. And as I was walking back, I heard a noise. You said you heard a noise. Thump, just like that. That could only be the sound of the victim falling. Very quiet in the temple, you know. You can even hear the snow falling from the branches. Thump, just like that. But then, couldn't this noise you heard just been snow falling to the ground? I never thought of it like that. The next one to laugh gets a whipping. Well, whatever the source of the sound, I looked over to the courtyard and Iris was, oh, Mystic Elise. This is the second time that the witness has testified to seeing the defendant. But some doubt remains in these claims. Hey, what does that mean? Just because you're a good-looking young man doesn't mean you give you the right to... The murderer who stabbed the victim with the sword. Sister Bikini, try to recall exactly who it was you saw as clearly as you can. Well, you're a handsome young man, so I'll forgive you. Oh, now that you mention it, there was something awfully strange about her. Something that's been bugging me all this time. Please don't keep us in suspense. Her hood. Her hood? That's right. It's coming back to me. Iris, she wasn't wearing her hood! I thought something like that was out of place, but it all makes sense now, doesn't it? After all, she'd given up that hood away to someone, right? Ugh. Huh. You dug your own grave, Miles Edgeworth. What do you say, Mr. Edgeworth? Is this testimony important? Um, I mean, it would have to be, right? Right? Um, that's everything I got. I'm gonna have to say it's important. This may initially appear to put me at a disadvantage, but I can't see any other leads at the moment. Your Honor, I would like these new statements to be added to the testimony. Huh, Mouse Edgeworth. If you want to hang yourself, you need only ask. I'll gladly lend you my whip. Oh my god, okay. Witness, add that statement to your testimony. No problem. Now that you mention it, Iris didn't have her hood on. You are sure about that? Yes. After all, we always wear the same clothes. Ah, I don't mean it because we're poor, you understand? It's our style. Yes, that's it. There's absolutely no need to explain yourself. Anyway, she looked different from normal, so that really stuck out. Like me holding a whippet puppy instead of my whip? At least then it might not bite you and not it might bite you and not someone else. I just didn't have a hood on. I'm sure of it. Very well. Now please tell us about the victim, eh? Mystic okay. Mystic Elise was staying in the corner room which faces into the courtyard. In the room the victim was staying in overlooked the courtyard, correct? Which means the victim's room was on the second floor. Nah. No. Oh my god, Hazakura's temple is a single-story building, but the mountain itself slopes downward, which elevates the main gate outside of the temple and the guest rooms in the back to about the height of a two-story building. I see. And the victim was staying in one of these elevated rooms, correct? Yes, I should know. I'm the one who carried her things to her room after all. Hmm. The stabbing I saw must have occurred when she was pushed out her. But how do you know she was pushed? What makes you so sure of all this? It's just like I told you earlier. I heard a noise from the courtyard, okay? Thump, just like that. You're one smart sister, I'll give you that. The autopsy report states that the victim's body was covered in bruises, indicating a fall from around 10 feet in height. Hmm. It appears that the witness was not mistaken then. Yep. I'm more than just a pretty face, especially in the winter. I'm a woman of faith, after all, head honcho of the Hakasura Temple. There's only two of them working there. What's wrong, Miles Edgeworth? No snappy comeback remark? It doesn't feel like she's lying. This is a very powerful testimony too. She claims to have seen the instant in which the defendant stabbed the victim. There are only two things I can believe in right now. My client Iris and my own abilities as a defense attorney. I finished my bath around 11. Okay. Okay. And I was walking back. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Huh. But how does she know she was pushed out the window? Okay. So that wasn't it. Hmm. Trying to figure out. Now you mentioned that Iris didn't have blood on her hood. Are you sure about that? Yes. Hmm. I'm trying to figure this out. Huh. I'm a little stumped. After walking back, I heard a noise from the courtyard. I took a look and this thing bothers me. Because how would you know she was pushed out the window? Alright, let's go with this. Impressive logic. That's what I like to say, anyway. Oh, please do. My brain is something else, especially in the winter. Um, okay. However, I think you are overlooking one thing. Miss Von Karma, would you be so kind as take another look at the autopsy report? The autopsy report? The victim did fall from a height of 10 feet. However, this fall was after she was killed. Ah! That's right. It says after death right here. Wait, does it? Oh, it does. Ah, The scene the witness claims to have seen is contradictory. If the defendant stabbed and killed the victim there in the courtyard, then how did the victim go on and take a 10-foot fall? Ah! Order! Order! The victim was killed and then fell. If that's the case, then the victim must have been killed in her room, don't you agree? Yeah. Is the logical conclusion. Yes, that's right. The victim must have been stabbed by the defendant in her own room. And then and she was then thrown out of her window down into the courtyard below. Were there any sounds of a struggle in Miss Donham's room? She was stabbed with a sword. That would leave a blood stain, wouldn't you agree? Well, Miss Von Karma, was there any blood? Ah! No traces of blood were found in the victim's room. Your whip has just caused traces of blood to be found on my glorious playoff beard. However, if there was no blood in the room, then yeah! I'm sure there's no need for me to go over this. I'm sure Your Honor is very aware of this when a stab wound produces the most blood. When it produces the most blood, no. Very little blood is actually lost at the moment for a blade of a blade's insertion. If you want to talk about when the blood would be lost from a body, that would be when the blade is removed. Indeed, with the weapon still in place, it acts like a lid on the wound. That's true. With the weapon still in the body, there wouldn't be much bleeding. A perfectly reasonable line of thinking. Well, we have come to a conclusion then. The victim was thrown out of the window with the sword still in place. This removes all of the contradictions. Order! Order! I must admit that this is the probable version of the events. I'd expect no less from Franziska von Karma. She locates and takes control of every vital point. Huh. It seems that we need a clearer testimony from the witness. Remove all suppositions on your part and tell us only the facts, please. Witness, please remain standing on the crate. Don't go selling me short now. The weight of the winter snow has bent me out of shape, especially my back and my mood. Sister, please give us your testimony. I will give you a vigorous massage once we are finished here. If she's not the murderer, of course. Because if she's the murderer, I don't think you want to be giving no murderer no massage, right? With the whip? Oh boy. Alright, alright. Further details. When I looked across the scene, the sword was already in place. Thinking about it now, I didn't actually see her stab Mystic Elise. I've never seen so much blood before. That's when I fainted. You can't blame me, can you? And when I awoke, Mystic Amy was stabbing Mystic Elise through the back. This all confirms Miss Von Karma's theory. Von Karma strived for nothing but perfection. Putting together such facts is nothing for me. You should know that, Mouse Edgeworth. Perfection is an impossibility, Franziska Von Karma, and I'm here to teach you just that. Further details. When I looked across the scene, the sword was already in place. At that time, was the victim bleeding? Well, I was very shocked to be seeing all this, of course, so I'm not entirely sure, but I don't think I saw any blood, not then. I'm sure you didn't. The weapon was acting as a plug in the wound. In any case, let's be clear on the one very important point. Did you actually see the incident in which the victim was stabbed? Thinking about it now, I didn't actually see. Think carefully. This is very important. This Iris we're talking about here, I'm thinking for all that I'm worth. No, when I looked over, the sword was already in Mystic Elite's body. Hmm. It might not be conclusive, but this testimony supports her theory. The victim was stabbed in her room and then dropped into the courtyard. I think this proves it rather well, Miles Edgeworth. I've never seen so much blood. So you're saying that you saw the victim's blood? That's right! Some of it had splattered onto Iris, too. When the defendant was arrested, she was meditating in her room, and her blood-flecked clothing was neatly folded in a corner. What? Her clothes were blood-flecked as well? That seems quite conclusive to me. What should I do? Should I press this point further? Going back to your previous statement, you said that you saw a little bleeding when the victim was stabbed, but now you say that you saw the victim bleeding? Well, I'd say that what I saw is what I saw. What did you see? Maybe I didn't see the poor woman get stabbed, but I saw the girl pull the sword out of her, plain as day. Pulling the sword out? Well, it wasn't exactly pulling, it was more like it came out. Witness, you will add the statement to your testimony now. Oh, was that important? More important than you can imagine. I saw the instant in which the blade was being plunged into the hilt was smoothly drawn out. Smoothly, you say? You're saying that you saw the sword smoothly slide out? That's right. The whole thing happened right next to the gold statue of Mystic Amy. Ah! Sorry, I had to. Every time I saw that, I just felt like that's how she was screaming. Mystic Elise was on the ground, so Iris was stooped over her. The sword was buried up to the hilt. When Iris stood up, the sword in her hand just slid out to Mystic Elise's body. It slid out from that gaping wound. Ah! It goes without saying that the sword was removed there would be bleeding. Nothing out of place here. Is that really the case? I can't help but feel that something about this testimony is very out of place. And that something, which couldn't possibly have happened, appears to have happened. I've never seen so much blood before. Was the bleeding caused by the killer removing the sword? No mistake in that, I remember it clear as day. Don't you think that's a bit odd? What do you mean, Mouse Edgeworth? Why would the killer pull out the sword? What? If all she had to do was place the weapon in the hand of the golden statue, then there was no reason to remove it from the body. All that would have been accomplished is oh my god, all that would have accomplished is causing the victim to bleed unnecessarily. Your thoughts, Miss Von Karma? That's indeed. It is strange now that you mention it. I'm going to need to find an answer to this mystery too. Anyway, the witness saw something terrible. So what did you do after that, witness? She tried to avoid it. That's when I came and fainted. Can you blame me? Yes. Now, on to what the killer did next. You saw none of it, correct? Well, I was unconscious. How long were you out for? I don't know. 10, maybe 20 minutes. A young man with very prickling looking head woke me up. By stepping on me, actually. I'm not sure I like that method of resuscitation. Well, I wasn't asking for mouth to mouth or anything of the sort, but I would have welcomed a more gentle awakening right about then, let me tell you. I shall have a word with the offender personally. What did you see upon awakening? And when I woke, Mystic Amy. By Mystic Amy, you are referring to the golden statue, correct? Just stabbing someone with the sword of the sacred treasure is terrible enough. But then to make Mystic Amy hold the blade, truly heinous, despicable crime. It is easy to despise something, anyone can do it. However, there is something that cannot be done so easily. Whatever it is, I'm sure it's doubly hard for you. Anyway, what's the problem? Exactly why would the killer set up this gruesome scene? Can anyone explain the reasoning behind that? No, I don't think I can. There isn't always a logical reason behind why someone acts. That's true. So true. In early spring, for example, I often find myself. There isn't always. That phase might come in handy someday. There are too many unnatural elements in this case. Why was it necessary to use the sword from Amy, the statue, as a weapon? Why was the weapon ultimately placed back into the hand of the statue? If I can expose the flaws in this testimony, perhaps then I would begin to find the truth. When I look at the scene, alright, so let's see. So he's talking about the sword. So it was already in place. Thinking about it now, I didn't actually see her stab. Okay, that's important, kinda. I saw the I saw the instant in which the blade plunged into the hilt and was smoothly drawn out. Sister Bikini, you are a reliable witness. At least I like to think so. But there are too many contradictions here. What do you mean? That you make it sound as though I'm a liar. But you're a handsome young man, so I'll forgive you. Girl. Oh my god. Lady, you are. Hold on. How old is Edgeworth? How I don't know how old Edgeworth is, but I know she's 48 though. I know she's 48. Um I mean, well, if Phoenix is 26, he has to be 26 too, right? And she's 19? Okay, I was gonna try to base it off of them, but I forgot they had like a little age gap. Huh. What contradictions are you talking about in the scene that the witness claims to have seen? The weapon the weapon was thrust up to its hilt into the victim. Ooh. That's brutal, man. Ah! That's all I see when I see the mouth open. Furthermore, the killer withdrew the weapon smoothly from the body. However, both of these are complete impossibilities. What do you mean? Please explain. Ah! Explain yourself! To start with, do you think it would be possible to stab someone to the hilt with this? Nah. And if they did, they stronger than I would be, because that would be, oh my god. Can you imagine getting stabbed like that? No matter how I look at the defendant, she doesn't appear strong enough for that. Doesn't appear? What meaningless dribble. I too may have appeared weak and frail, but I can crush men under my heel and make them weep, should I choose. Okay, Von Karma, calm down. The Objection stands. I weep a little back there, I must admit. What? That isn't the only issue here. If this sword was truly stabbed into the body up to the hilt, well, just look at all the branches on it. It certainly wouldn't come out smoothly. That's... We also have the kind of problem... We also have the problem of the amount of bleeding. It's true that when the blade is left in the body, it acts as a plug of sorts. However, when the blade is shaped like this, it's an entirely different story. The wound would be too large for the blade to completely stop the bleeding. That's nothing more than conjecture. In reality, the victim was stabbed with the sword. Even if the weapon of this nature may still sometimes slide out smoothly and may still sometimes stop the blood loss. I'm not finished. There is still one more conclusive contradiction. You still got more? Nah. This one is simple. If this sword really was thrust all the way to the hilt, why is there only blood on the tip of it? Ah! This witness is telling the truth. Then there should be blood along the entire length of the sword. No! Order! Ah! Bravo, Mouse Edgeworth, raising this many contradictions from a single piece of evidence. All the other attorneys I know could have maybe managed one, if that. But what does this all mean? Ah, you may have proven the contradiction regarding the murder weapon, but... Having come this far, there can only be one answer. And that is... the weapon used to kill the victim was not the sword. What? Yeah. A foolishly foolish idea born from the foolish mind of a foolish, hardly foolish fool. Let's examine this again. What was it that made us think the sword was the murder weapon? Well, it's because Mystic Amy was holding it. Exactly. However, if you reflect on this, that there's only that is the only bias we have to assume such a thing. The impression left by the scene was too strong. That is what influenced us. It influenced us to believe that the sword was the murder weapon. Order! Order! Ah! So maybe the sword was not the murder weapon. Even if that's the case, it changes nothing, Mouse Edgeworth. The sister saw everything. She saw the defendant stab the victim with a sword-like object. That's true. Your response, Mr. Edgeworth? Yeah. If that is so, I would like the prosecution to answer the obvious question it raises. The obvious question, yeah. Yes. Namely, where did the real murder weapon disappear to? Well, Franziska? It goes without saying that the police searched the main hall and the surrounding area. Perhaps the prosecution can enlighten us as if to a sword-like object was found. That's... Answer the question, Miss Von Karman. Yeah. No evidence of that kind was found. Hmm. Another mystery to throw onto the pile. A trial without a murder weapon is a tricky beast. Excuse me. Could I say something? I just remembered something actually. What is it, sister? I was just thinking, it's possible that just maybe what actually happened was it was just over there. What exactly are you going on about here? The murder weapon, I mean, maybe I think I might know where the sword was disposed of. You what? Well then, I think we need to hear the testimony from you one more time, sister. Impossible! What else? What else could this old woman have seen? Okay, for real now. What did you really see? Ain't no way. You 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 playing around. You playing around. Ain't no way. Nah, ain't no way. I don't believe it. She ain't see nothing. She's a clown. Clown emoji. Clown emoji. Alright. Location of the weapon. I saw the murder around 11 p.m. And after asking that it be reported, I went out to the main gate. And there I saw tracks. Tracks that indicate that the snowmobile had been used. It takes about 15 minutes to walk to Dusky Bridge, but less than 5 using one of those. Maybe they threw the weapon onto Eagle River and it came out back while I was knocked out. Iris could have done that. She could drive a snowmobile after all. Hmm. Hmm. I don't know. Now she could drive snowmobiles. That's crazy. Iris can do it all, can't she? She got that sneaky snake kind of vibe going on for me. Witness, please tell us everything you know right away next time. Well, I'm not in the best shape with my back and age, and you know. Oh my God, please don't let me turn 48 and be like this lady. Holy crap. She's standing on crates. She already struggling. She's not even 60. She's not even 70. She's like 48. Quite. There were indeed snowmobile tracks in the front of the main gate. Here's a photograph. A snowmobile, eh? I see. Well, it certainly is an interesting theory, yeah. The tracks begin in front of Hazukara Temple and run all the way to Dusky Bridge. Tracks have been added to the court record. Why wasn't this added before? Why are we adding crap now? That solves your pesky little problem, yes? The Eagle River's current is quite swift, meaning that it doesn't freeze over in winter, making it the perfect place to dispose of the murder weapon. Did she really go to the river to dispose of the murder weapon? Mr. Edgeworth, your cross-examination, please. Yeah. Location of the weapon. So what do you think of Franzi showing up as the prosecution to counter Edgy as defense? Um, well, I already know those two are close. Um, I think they're in cahoots with one another. But my real issue is the fact that I already know that Iris was in jail. She's not in jail anymore. And on top of that, she's a serial killer. She's a serial killer. Um, so I don't know why Phoenix is helping her after what she did to him personally. I don't understand that. But as for her showing up to help Edgeworth out, I mean they're in cahoots with one another. He could trust her, she could trust him, I believe. So um I think she's just gonna she might take the fall. I don't know. Who knows? I'm not too sure. I don't know. I just feel like she's helping him out as a buddy or a brother or whatever they consider themselves as, you know. I saw the murder around 11 p.m. You you are sure about the time? Yes, I was worried about it after all. Why was that? Yeah, because I have a strong sense of responsibility, especially at this time of year. The outlet was being dosed in the freezing water at the time. I couldn't very well take it easy on in the bath all night now, could I? So at 11, I decided to leave the Hakazukura temple. Her estimation of the time seems reliable, at least. Please continue, sister. Oh, I didn't read that. You asked the Phoenix Wright to report the crime, correct? Right, right. The one who trampled me. Trampled? I just stepped on you once, lady. It seems she's the type to hold a grudge. There isn't a phone in the main hall, so I sent him to the bridge. Phoenix Wright. He didn't even have his cell phone on him. He had forgotten it at home, apparently. What a naive boy, as always. Not only do I always carry my phone, but I always have my whip in hand, too. Anyway, I was really scared, and it was taking him a while to get back. So I thought I'd go out by the main gate for a spell. And there, I saw tracks. Tracks that indicated the snowmobile had been used. Hmm? Also, why is Dahlia's hair black rather than red now? And why the name changed to Iris? You're playing this on the Switch, so no history? No, I'm playing this on PC. Yeah, this is all on PC. I do not have a Switch. As I recall, there was a snowmobile outside of the main gate when I visited. That's it. That's the only one we have. Oh, wrong voice. Ah, that's it. That's the only one we have. You'll run no matter how much snow falls. Now, you're certain the snowmobile was there at the main gate when you arrived? Yes, of course. It was parked in front of the gate. So she had already gone, discarded the murder weapon, and returned by that time. I'm not so sure if this is really relevant. What should I do? I need answers to every possible doubt. The snowmobile in question, was it still warm at the time? Huh? 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 What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? Ah! What do you mean, Mouse Edgeworth? I'm playing to a slow crowd here. It goes without saying that using a snowmobile will heat its engine. If it was still warm, then it means it was recently used. Ah, I see. I never thought of that. That's right. I overlooked that too. Yeah. Of course you did. Then answer the question, please, witness. she probably doesn't know, because she probably doesn't know that she needs to touch the engine. Or, I mean, even if you see some steam popping up. I don't often go around touching hot engines. Hmm. However, now that you mention it, there wasn't any snow on it. Snow? Yes, for some reason, only the snowmobile wasn't covered in snow. There wasn't any snow on it. Curses. It seems highly likely that the killer did use the snowmobile then. Ah. How long does it take to get to oh my god. How long does it take to get to Dusky Bridge by snowmobile? Okay, because you can check the history of dialogue if you're on Steam. I can? I've never seen it. It's okay. I've went this far without it. I'll just keep trudging along without it. In that case, why didn't you use it yourself? You could have spared yourself some walking. Ah, that's there's a reason for that. Have we got a moment for me to explain? I think that's why the question was asked in the first place. It was about a month ago. I was driving my beloved little snowmobile, happy as can be. I fetched some water and was heading back when I went and crashed into a tree. That kind of rhymed. Then the tree and my back both went crunch, just like that. Crunch. Mmm. Crunch. Ah. I haven't been able to find my courage to ride anything since then. Anyway, the killer must have used it. Maybe they threw the weapon into the Eagle River and came. Oh, wow, it was knocked out? Refresh your memory. How long were you knocked out for? I said somewhere between 10 to 20 minutes. It's possible to get the bridge back in 10 minutes using the snowmobile. I have conceded that is more than enough time. Is that all you wish to concede, Miles Edgeworth? Iris could have done that if she can. Okay, she can drive the snowmobile. While it would have been possible time-wise, one element remains out of place here. Oh, and what would this mysterious element be? The killer's reasoning, Your Honor. Why did the killer do all of this? Why go to the Eagle River to dispose of the murder weapon when there were other methods? Too many unanswered questions, yeah. Your response, Miss Von Karma. Ah! Turning to me for help over the slightest thing. Why don't you think for yourself once in a while, Your Honor? What? She's as over the top as always. Anyway, whatever the reason, the fact remains that the defendant could have done this. The murder weapon was disposed in the river. Another point to me, Mouse Edgeworth. Another mystery to feed to the fire. Was there any reason to go throw away the murder weapon? Luckily, there is surely a problem with this testimony. Now all I have to do is start poking holes in this flawed account. Okay, she saw the murder around 11. She was asking to be reported and went out to the main gate. And there I saw tracks. It takes 15 minutes to walk to Dusky Bridge. Maybe they threw the weapon in the Eagle River and came back while I was knocked out. So you telling me that they killed the person? She saw a snowmobile being used. It takes 15 minutes to walk to the bridge. But less than 5 using one of those. Maybe they threw it into the... What? But couldn't they have just used the snowmobile to get away? Why would they... I mean... Why would they go take the snowmobile to the river to throw it away? When I mean, they could have... I don't know. Something don't sound right here. Taken from that night from the main gate. No, because if they... No, that doesn't make sense. They threw the weapon into Eagle River and then came back while I was knocked out. So they killed, took the snowmobile to the river, threw it in there, and then came back. Nah, something that don't sound right to me. Is that if that's what she's saying? I admit this photograph proves something. It proves that the snowmobile was used on the night of the murder. You finally accepted the inevitable, it seems, Miles Edgeworth. However, if what the witness says is true, then why is there only one set of tracks? Yeah, there is only one set of tracks. Because that didn't make any sense. Because she was saying that they killed, ran to the thing, and then came back. That itself didn't make any sense. What do you mean? Iris left her Zukara temple, threw the weapon into the river, and then returned. If this was the case, then naturally there should be two sets of tracks in the snow. Those from heading out to the bridge, and those from coming back. Ah, you're right. Hmm. You're forgetting one thing, Miles Edgeworth. What is that? On the night of the murder, it was snowing. The tracks leading to the bridge were erased by snowfall. This removes your precious contradiction now, doesn't it? I see. While she was at the river, the snow stopped, leaving just the return tracks in the snow. I mean, you still would have seen something, though. That don't sound right. What do you have to say now, Miles Edgeworth? Is there a flaw in her theory? This idea that the snowfall covered one set of tracks. There's a contradiction somewhere. There gotta be. The tracks of the river were covered by snow. What a nice theory. However, Miss Von Karma, that is impossible. Yeah, because, like, you would still see some sort of outline. At least. Would you care to explain? Why is there a root index finger currently pointing in my general direction? Why is there a root index finger currently pointing in my general direction? Because you're wrong! No need. The evidence will do all the talking for me. On the night of the murder, the killer went to and returned from Dusky Bridge. In order to dispose of the murder weapon, the outgoing tracks were erased by snow. Or so claims Miss Von Karma. Mr. Edgeworth, present your evidence to the contrary, Evidence that the outgoing tracks were not covered by snow. Oh yeah, we have a weather report, don't we? Snow with occasional lightning strikes. Why didn't the footprints person see the snowmobile rider? I don't know. That's true too. Because if she was going up there, why didn't she see? We don't have anything else that says the weather, right? Witness, please tell us again what time it was when you witnessed the crime. Like I said, it was around 11. Around 11, it said it was just lightning strikes, wasn't it? Lightning to 10 to approximately 11 p.m. Lightning struck Dusky Bridge at 10:45. Around 30 minutes passed between the fire starting and going out. So the lightning struck around 10:30, and then it didn't get put out until 11. Why didn't the footprints person see the snowmobile? Check the autopsy. You talking about for Elise? She was stabbed in the back and she fell 10 feet. Of course. This means that the weapon was thrown away after that time, correct? On that note, please take a look at this data. It is the weather report for Eagle Mountain on the night of the murder. The weather report? Snow started to fall at 7 p.m., but stopped around 10:50. Snow stopped 10 minutes before 11. It only takes how long for the snowmobile to reach the bridge? I think she said 5 to 10 minutes. So she died. Oh, excuse me. I don't even think they have an accurate time. Time 10 to 11. So they don't even know like an accurate time she actually died. It just says 10 to 11, 10 through 11 p.m. So within that hour, it takes about 5 to 10 minutes to get to the bridge, do whatever, and come back. But it had to be around 10 o'clock for the murder, and it might have been like, I don't know, maybe 10:05, 10:10. And then by the time she was getting up to the bridge, the bridge had a lightning strike. Therefore, when the sisters witnessed the crime at 11 p.m., the snow had already stopped falling. It is impossible for any tracks that have been made after that time to have been covered up. Yeah! Order! Order! Very well then. It looks like Miss Von Karma's claim has been snowed in. Yeah. Okay, I just added that for just over exaggeration. Ah! It's too soon to be closing this trial due to snow. Miles Edgeworth, how pathetic of you to rely on the weather of all things. Answer me this then. When is a weather report ever correct? Ah, no, you got it all wrong. This isn't a forecast. This is actual data. Mwah! Forecast data. All weather reports have some sort of inaccuracies. It may still have been snowing in the vicinity well past 11 p.m. Hmm. It's true. We cannot be totally sure. Yeah. What? How did she pull that off? How did she pull that off? It had stopped snowing at the Hakazura Temple when the murder took place. Yeah. You need to provide conclusive evidence of this. I've come this far. There's no turning back now. Very well. I, too, cannot allow any doubt to remain concerning this testimony. Ha! You can't back down, can you? Such a perfectionist, Mouse Edgeworth. Very well, then, Mr. Edgeworth. Where is your evidence that it already stopped snowing when the victim was killed? That it stopped snowing? Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Wait a minute. Oh. Report again or crime photo? I mean, she don't look snowed on. That would have been my biggest question. If I had ever stumbled upon a body like that, I would have been sitting there like, how did that happen? The crime photo, I guess. Let me see what else we got. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Ultimately, it comes down to one point. That being, whether or not it was snowing in that courtyard when the victim was stabbed. That's right, but proving that is incredibly easy. If we want to know the whether it was snowing or not, this photo will tell us everything. Of course, I'm referring to the photo of the crime scene. As you can see, everything is covered with snow, with just one exception, and that is the victim herself, Miss Elise Donham. Why is there no snow on top of her? The answer is simple. It had stopped snowing when she was killed. That's why. Ugh! In other words, if the killer really did go to the Eagle River to dispose of the murder weapon, then this photograph, there should be at least two sets of tracks. Ah! Order! Order! Just what are you suggesting, Mouse Edgeworth? To be honest, I'm not entirely sure myself, but this is simply what all the facts point to. That night, someone used a snowmobile to leave Harkazura Temple. From the tracks left, it can be understood that they were heading for Dusky Bridge. At that time, it was still snowing. Of course it was, because those tracks were erased by the snow. Then, when this person returned to Hakazukura Temple, the snow had stopped. Thus, the return tracks remained. Hmm. Can I say something? This all sounds a bit fishy to me. What does, sister? There is only one key for the snowmobile. Oh, furthermore, on the night in question, we know that the defendant had it. The key was found in her room after the murder, which can only mean that night Iris used the snowmobile to go to the inner temple. But Iris said that she never went there. I should probably press on this point some more when I get the chance. The snowmobile can't cross the suspension bridge, so she must have left it on the Hakazukura side of the bridge and crossed on foot. That sounds about right. But what's odd is when I left Iris to return to the Hakazukura temple, I didn't see anything near Dusky Bridge. You must have failed to see it, sister. Maybe, but when I made it back to Hakazura temple, it was there, by the main gate. The snowmobile, I mean. I know what I saw. It was covered in snow too. I think she's slowly losing it. That's what I think, because none of this is starting to make sense to me. But that isn't possible. Order in the court. What does this all mean? So then what was the snowmobile used for? It wasn't taken to the defendant when she went to the inner temple. If it had been, then the witness couldn't possibly have seen it by the gate. Furthermore, it wasn't used by the killer to dispose of the murder weapon. If that was the case, there should have been two sets of tracks in this photo. All we know is this. After it stopped snowing, someone used the snowmobile and returned to Hakazura Temple. Do you think it's Pearl? Does Pearl know how to ride a snowmobile? I never thought a simple snowmobile could cause so much trouble. I think we learned all we can from this witness. Yes, I've got nothing more to add. I told you everything that I know. But then, that still leaves us with the same problem. If only there was someone, a witness who could testify to have seen the snowmobile. A witness, huh? Was there no one out walking perhaps near Dusky Bridge on that night? I don't think that's likely. Where's Larry? It was cold enough to freeze your ears off. Only an idiot would go out wandering in that. Unless they had something really important to do. That's a shame. Hold on. Something's coming to me. An idiot may well have gone wandering out on that subarctic night. Your Honor, actually, there just might be one individual who may be of help to us. Really? You know someone who might have seen that snowmobile on the night of the murder? I don't know for sure if he saw it or not, but there are two things about him that do come to mind. Which are? First, that he saw something incredible on the night of the murder. And the second being, this individual that I'm thinking of went wandering outside on that cold night. In other words, he is our kind of idiot. Mr. Edgeworth, who is this idiot you're talking about? Um, I believe it's Larry. That's definitely Larry, ain't no way. This guy must be the product of Jean-Luc de Leduc's Guide to the Obnoxious French Painting. This is Larry Butts, a discipline of the victim, Elise Dunham. Her student. Interesting. And why was he wandering about outside the night of the murder? That's... I could tell them all about his designs for Iris. But it may cost us his credibility as a witness before I even call him. He is, after all, an artist. He was perhaps searching for something in the snowy scenery that would have moved him, although I cannot guarantee that this is the reason. And so, this unfortunate, unreliable looking man, what exactly was it he saw? I intend to extract that from him right here in this courtroom. Summon this youth as this witness immediately. I have no choice, do I? I believe he is in the gallery for this trial. It will not take long to summon him. Very well. Larry may have escaped me yesterday, but today I'm going to get everything out of him. The court will now adjourn for a 20-minute break. Ms. Von Karma, please see to preparing the next witness. Nya. Understood, Your Honor. Good. Well then, court is now in recess. Nya. To be continued. Do you think Pearls killed Elise? No, I was just saying I think Pearls might have used the snowmobile or saw the snowmobile because where the fudge is she? I'm not saying Pearls killed her. Nah. All right. It's been about 2 hours. Unfortunately, this would have to be a short little stream. We will continue. I'll have to see. I'll see about streaming tomorrow, but tomorrow I'm probably gonna have to get prepped to leave on my weekend work extravaganza again. And then I should be clear for the rest of November and December, and then I'll have to disappear in January. So, with that said, have a good night. But, to be honest with you, I think the killer's either the nun or is Iris. I already know. Honestly, I think Iris is Dahlia. I didn't really notice the change in hair color, but I think the killer is Iris or the nun. Nobody else could have killed. Larry could have been high-key suspect, but I know Larry didn't do it. I know Gumshoe didn't do it. I know Phoenix didn't do it. I know Maya didn't do it. I know Pearls didn't do it. It's just one of those two. They're the only two there. And the person who was there is already dead. So yeah, not unless she faked her death somehow. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. If you liked anything, please like, follow, subscribe on YouTube. You don't have to subscribe on Twitch if you don't want to. That's totally up to you guys. I will see about streaming tomorrow. Y'all probably, just keep a lookout for it. It's either gonna be there or it's not gonna be there because I gotta get ready for a long week and stuff like that. So, with that said, I'm going to relax for a little bit, go to sleep, then go to work, and then come back here. Hopefully, everything's not set in stone. But yeah, you guys have a good night, and I shall see you next time. Bye.